Hi there, it's Kathy Topping, founder of Your Web Toolkit. I help businesses to position themselves online through digital marketing strategies that gets them in front of their ideal client. So this is day 4 in a 5-part series about using funnels in your business. So far we have talked about on-demand video funnels, lead magnet funnels, and survey funnels. Today we're going to talk about the beast that is a webinar funnel. If you're in the online space, this is going to be probably quite familiar to you as a concept. If you're not, if your business is more offline, it might be something that's new to you. So in a nutshell, a webinar is a presentation that you give to your audience where you share some sort of useful information. They generally run between half an hour to an hour. The point of them is to give valuable content, and then at the end you have a chance to share how that audience can work with you if that's what they want to do. Now, webinars are used across all sorts of industries and all sorts of different ways, but in essence that's kind of the point of them. It's a way to share your expertise, to give some value, and then to allow people to take that next step to work with you if that's what they want to do. Now, webinars can have a bit of a funny reputation because of the way that some people deliver them. There's a bit of a sort of bait and switch that can go on, in the sense that the marketing talking about the webinar might say, hey, we're going to show you X, Y, and Z, or you're going to get this value. And then in fact, the whole presentation is like 80–90% about the presenter talking about themselves or just pitching what it is that they offer. So what this means for you is that if you create webinars and have a webinar funnel in your business, as long as you deliver what you're promising, you're going to be way ahead of the game. And it's really going to increase that know, like, and trust factor from the audience that are coming through and watching the webinar. As with anything with your marketing, you need to lead with value so that your potential clients know that they can trust you, because that's why they're going to want to work with you. Now let's talk about, there's 2 main types of webinars. There are live webinars and there are what are called evergreen webinars. So a live webinar is, as the name suggests, one that you deliver live. It's not pre-recorded. You have the time, you set the time, your audience comes to join you on the live presentation, and then quite often what you do is have a replay that you make available to people for maybe 24 or 48 hours after the webinar. This type of webinar works really well to generate a sense of energy. From a sales point of view, they tend to convert better than a pre-recorded webinar. And by doing the webinar live a few times as well, you get to perfect what it is that you're trying to say. It really helps with nailing down your messaging. And you then get feedback as well about if people are dropping off, if they're actually buying at the end. And you can kind of keep working through that process. Now, an evergreen webinar is one that you have pre-recorded, or you might take one of the live webinars when you got to the point where you're like, this is really working, and then you plug it into an automated system. Now again, this allows you to free up your time. It allows you to systematize, if that's a word, some of your marketing. And for this reason, this type of webinar is very popular. But again, you need to be upfront about it. There's no point pretending it's a live webinar when it's actually a pre-recorded webinar. People that are savvy to this, you don't want to get known as being that person who pretends to be live, but in fact is pre-recorded. People don't mind it being pre-recorded, just let them know. In terms of setting up webinars, it's a very technical process. There are a lot of moving pieces, there's specific software. So it's definitely not something you should jump into until your business is ready for it. And in terms of having an evergreen webinar, you need to take into account the rising costs of advertising. And so this kind of funnel and this process generally works best for a higher priced product or service. You might think that this type of funnel with the webinar, maybe you've seen a few and you think that they really only work for products, like digital products, courses, programs, launches, that kind of stuff. But they can work really well for a service-based business as well. Because in essence, the process is the same. You're taking the opportunity to explain to potential clients how it is that you can solve their problem, show them that you understand their problem, share with them one way that you might solve that problem, and then empower them to make the choice to work with you to really get in and get things moving in the direction that they want. If you think that your business is at the point where something like this would be really beneficial in your marketing, book a call with me and we can talk it through, run some numbers, we can look at where you're at and where you want to go. And if this marketing tool is a good one to fit into your business now, it truly is a really great way to start seeing some growth. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with the final video in this series.